Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 118, the post-Thanksgiving episode, the post-Black Friday episode, the post-Cyber Monday episode, the post-Giving Tuesday episode, and then days just go back to just being nothing and stupid. That's it. So welcome back to that. I'm your host, Matt. With me, as always, is Eric. How do I even open the show? I don't know. What did you do this week? That's all I got.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a clever story. I got nothing. That's
You don't need one,
no
man.
No gimmicks this week.
All you got to do is go, this is how we do it. Up and down, 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 down. This is how we do it. Yeah, that's all I know. But that's, better than nothing. So my week, well, as we just talked about, of course, was Thanksgiving. Had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It was one of those beautiful ones where you go over to a family member's house, you eat their food, you talk, and then you go home. So I had no dishes, no cleanup, nobody hanging out in my house. The only downside is there was no leftovers either. So, of course, there was no after turkey day turkey, none of that. No little sneaking out a nice chunk of pie. No.
Oh, man.
No. And, of course, the other sad part is since we were at a family member's house doing the Thanksgiving they do an old-fashioned one. So it's kind of just, your boom, your boom, your boom, your boom, your five basics, your core tenets of Thanksgiving. That's it. That's what you got. That's what you get. It was delicious, very well made, awesome. But unfortunately, there's a few things that I missed. You know what I mean? Like, I want. Like my deviled eggs.
Like what?
They were not there. No deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. Homemade baked beans. I love them. They were not there.
Okay.
Candied yams. I love them. They were not there. So, yeah, unfortunately, a few things that I have to wait on.
See, here's what you do, Eric. Here's what you do. You go to that family member's house and do all that, but in the oven, like on super low and slow, you have those three things cooking. So you get home, you're like, oh, it was great. And you pull out those like little individual little pan things.
Yeah, I got those cool little Pyrex mini ones, self ones.
Yeah. You do that and just like, oh, here's my side treats that I was missing. Doop 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 doop.
And then of course next time be smart and actually grab a baggie and steal some of that turkey to go with those side dishes that I'm slowly preparing at home. Yes, that would be a clever idea. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't have to worry about next year. Next year will probably be either at our house or it'll be at another family member's house whom does like all sorts of crazy crap and tons of stuff. So we'll get a chance. And then there's Christmas too. So you know what? It was awesome. I did appreciate having a family around, good conversation. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, it's been work as usual. Nothing special there. Pretty much never is unless there's a funny story to be told, which just generally doesn't happen. And video game wise, man, oh man, all sorts of stuff. Playing Dragon Quest 11 and just having a good old time playing with the daughter. I don't know if I probably said this on some other episode, but I'll say it again real quick. Playing with my oldest daughter, having her with the controls, getting her in there. She is now learning how to do combat. She understands the magic system, how to go through what spells hurt water creatures, fire creatures, so on and so forth. She's starting to learn how to navigate through places, but that right joystick is just really giving her trouble. Like to move the move the scenery around so she can always see where she's going. Yeah, that's still giving her trouble. She'll just like kind of like run to where she thinks she's supposed to go, never adjusting the orientation of the view, and then she's just like running into trees and branches, and I'm like, just turn your view, child, turn your view. And, oh, what? Right here, just put that one. Okay, there you go. Yeah, see, yeah.
So she plays it like you would play it if you're eating like Doritos.
Yes.
Like, I gotta run, but maybe like back of the hand, you like nudge.
You try to nudge it a little bit, but then you just look at your mini map, and so you know where to go anyway. So you just kind of adjust. Yeah, that's how she plays. Except for when I, of course, keep telling her to use the view, then she does it. But she's getting there. Mm-hmm. She's to the point now where I can give her the controller, set her in the world map where all the monsters are roaming around, and just go farm monsters, kill monsters for daddy. And I walked away for a good 45 minutes, an hour, came back. She didn't die. No characters were dead. She was keeping them healed up. She did. Nice. One character died, and because she got in a fight with an elite, and she came upstairs and she goes, "Daddy, Veronica's dead. How do I resurrect her?" So I told her, go use Serena's Zing spell and bring her back to life. So she went downstairs, used Zing spell, had her back up and running, and off she went. So
And you went down and be like, do not be wasting my MP. Whap, whap.
Well,
and then you came back
I was going to
up
say,
and
that's the only thing I did was I had to come down exactly and go, hey, how's your MP doing? You're okay? Okay. All right. And I walked away again. Come back down, my character's like 5 levels higher, and I'm like, yeah, I can get used to this.
I remember Shay mentioning this, having his daughter farm something for him. I don't remember what game it was. Maybe Ni no Kuni, but I remember hearing
Yeah, it was
that
Ni
from
no
him, too.
Kuni, the original. Oh, yeah. So I'm now at that stage in my life where my daughter can farm monsters for me endlessly.
Maybe I should have a kid.
See?
One of these
Exactly,
days.
Matt.
You know, you can take my horse from one side of the map to the other in Red Dead. Take Daddy to Valentine. Tell me when you get
I'm
there.
gonna go watch my favorite show while you're doing it. Yeah, video games are the best. This is great.
I'm a gamer.
Yeah. So that happened. Beyond that, not too much. Been pretty casual. Went and saw a movie this weekend. I saw. What did I see? I saw it for the second time. Oh, The Fantastic Beasts, Grindelwald.
Oh, okay.
Saw it for the second time this weekend. Still a fantastic movie. I love these adult versions in the Harry Potter world. Love how the magic in there is like what I imagine magic to be, obviously. Casting real big spells, going nuts. And, of course, though, reinforces how the younger versions are real silly because the kids with their 3 silly, dumb kid spells are beating adults. Whereas, obviously, now it's a movie about adults, and these guys and gals are just flinging spells that could kill thousands of people around, and I'm like, those kids would have just been vaporized in like 5 seconds. Okay. Well, it's all fun and games. That's all right. And that's about it, Matt. What have you been up to?
Well, of course, like you said, Thanksgiving time. So obviously went to Mom's house, had all the amazing things that she makes, and then got to bring my like all my little containers and bring it all home and eat Thanksgiving leftovers for a whole week. I have like the last of every little piece is at work for lunch tomorrow because I know Howard's going to bail on going to lunch with me because he always does because something will come up. So the last of everything is in there. Still got a bunch of stuffing and mashed potatoes and all that stuff just for whenever I feel in Thanksgiving-y. It's just like, so good. So delicious. Grand old time. I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite. And then I love saying that I've been eating the leftovers for a week because I can see your face just going, oh, they're bad. You're going to die. I can't believe it. I don't understand how refrigeration works. Oh,
leftovers
Jesus.
after a day, 2 days later. No go, man. It's poison in your belly.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear from the man who cans everything and hides them under his
under
stairs.
the stairs in those
Eric,
racks.
if you open up one of those jars, you're going to poison your whole family
No,
with that.
because
I don't understand how that works. If you understand how this works. Yeah, it's great. So aside from that, on Black Friday, actually, Mom and I went out and saw Bohemian Rhapsody, which kind of came back for like the weekend. It had like some puffed up to some more show times. And I've never been like I like Queen's music, but I've never been like a Queen fan. But I thought that was a really good movie and really cool, to kind of see. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of it's fictionalized to make a good movie, but I thought it told a good story and had really good, interesting characters in it. And I love movies or TV shows or anything that are set like in those 60s and 70s era when you had like the outlandish styles and people looked like freaking fresh and cool and like amazing. Like sitting through that whole thing, like, that dude looks awesome. That dude looks goofy, but he looks awesome. That dude looks awesome. Look at that chick. She looks great. Just outstanding and cool. I love that whole movie. It was a lot of fun.
I'd say the clothes were great back then, but the hair wasn't, man. Sorry.
Well,
I can't get on
true.
board with the hair.
You're just saying that because you could not grow out big, long hair anyway. Don't be jealous of the flowing locks and things.
You just hurt my feelings now, man.
But the one thing I thought was really interesting is, obviously Queen was gone, like, right around the time that I was born, or a couple years afterwards. I think Freddie Mercury died, or, they broke up forever. So I've only ever seen him with the short hair and the mustache, like his most kind of famous, iconic look. So seeing him all through the movie with, like, the 70s hair and, like, transitioning between different styles. And then at the end, during the end credits, it's not really a spoiler, but they show like live footage of Queen from way back in the day, and Freddie Mercury does not look like how I imagine him, and he looks like totally badass and awesome. And I was just like, that's awesome to see that, here's what I think Freddie Mercury is, and then he's gone through all this other stuff that I had no idea about, all these different styles and looks, and And it also made me appreciate, like, that was back in the day when you could have, like, a charismatic frontman and, like, a band that actually, like, went all out and was jumping around and, you know, rocking out and speaking to the people and then, like, working hard up on stage. And I think about it now, like, I don't even know any, like, rock bands or, you know, lead singers of them. I don't know.
I know a couple,
like,
but, you know.
Like, yeah, like, you know a couple, but it's not like everybody in the world knows Queen or knows The Who or, you know, all the bands from back in that day. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
I wanted to see that one. Obviously, it didn't. It slipped through my fingers. And the reason I was so interested, because once, like you said, I am not a big Queen fan or old school. I shouldn't say I'm not an old school rock fan, but I heard so much of it growing up that it's kind of annoying sometimes now because you only hear the same 25, 30 songs over and over and over again. But the reason I wanted to see it was because it's the main actor, the guy who plays in Robot. I always forget his name. You know me, I can't remember names of anybody ever. So
I think it's like Remy Malek.
Yeah, something like that. But he's awesome in Mr. Robot, like just fantastic. Okay. So when I saw that he was the lead role, I went, yeah, I need to watch this. But life happens, you know how it goes.
Well, see, this is the first thing I've ever seen him in because I've never seen Mr. Robot. But like 2 days ago, I was browsing through Netflix or something, and I saw his face, and I went, "Oh, that's what that dude's from." And you know, it was the browsing through past Mr. Robot, and I was like, "Okay, that's Freddie Mercury's face. Okay, I know where he came from now."
Now you should watch Mr. Robot to see, you know, an earlier show he was in.
But then I'll just be like, why is he not singing? Why isn't he like a cool band leader? What's this?
Yeah, but then you get to see Christian Slater as well.
Oh, nice.
So that's cool. A double win. It's a double win for you. You're gonna like it. I'm just trying to sell Mr. Robot. Fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why.
You have been for quite a while. You're like James with Breaking Bad over here.
Yeah, exactly.
In like 20 years, I'll watch it and I'll be like, "Oh, that was pretty cool."
Yeah, and I'll go, "Oh, yeah. What movie? What? Oh, yeah, okay." And that'll be the end of the conversation. Be great. Be like all the other ones we have about every other thing we watch and play.
That's how we do it. But hey, speaking of things I watched that were a play, oh my goodness, on Saturday I went out to the Williamson Theater, saw Hunting Shack Christmas. That was wild and zany and fun and ridiculous. I mean, it's just a silly, fun story, so there's not really anything deep or anything, you know, there's some emotional moments, but not anything like really gripping about it. I heard people at another event I'm going to get to in a minute talking about how, oh yeah, don't read the Lansing State Journal's review of it because they said it was crappy. And the one thing I heard was, well, they did the best they could with kind of a dumb script. I was like, well, it's a fun, dumb, farcical kind of comedy. You know, it's not going to hit with everybody. But I thought it was fun, so anybody in the Lansing area, go see it while it's still out. And then the other thing that I did, which ties into a Hunting Shack Christmas, because last year on Giving Tuesday, Williamston Theater did a play-a-thon where they did a reading of 6 different plays, and Hunting Shack Christmas was one of those. So it was really cool to see it like come alive. It's, you know, because it was put on by 4 or 5 actors just sitting at a table reading the play. And, you know, they were acting it out and doing it really well. So to like see the shack and see the character and see what they look like and see how they moved and how they interacted with each other was really cool. So I got to do Giving Tuesday again this week because they did it again. 6 more plays, 6 more fantastic readings. Give a quick rundown right here because my this week's going to be big, so my topic's going to be small. First up was Bronte, The World Without, all about the Bronte sisters who wrote, you know, all kinds of books like Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights. Cool little play about the 3 sisters and kind of the life that they lived and went through. Story I knew nothing about, like at all. Like I've heard the names of the books, but I didn't know anything about the authors or anything. So that was pretty cool. Next up was Mad Gravity, a farce, which is all about a family of like performance artists and how their entire living room is a theater. Like it's got a lobby and stands and people come and sit in it and watch what they do in their daily lives. And so like 2 other people come over and they have like this wacky crazy dinner and all kinds of other crazy shit happens, and it's like totally interactive theater. So I would be really interested to see this like actually come to the theater because there's all kinds of audience interactive segments, and it was really cool, really, really funny. We were all laughing the whole way through. And then after that was the most intense experience I've ever had in a theater of any time. It was These Mortal Hosts, which I can't even say what it's about, but it's about 3 characters and their lives intertwined in certain ways. And it was put together so well. Like at the very beginning, reading through the scene directions and everything, they give you a flash of what's going to happen later, like a 2-second flash of this character's over here, that character's doing this character's got a knife, or whatever it was. And then you jump back to way before that happens, and weird stuff's happening here and there. Like, the characters are connected, like, even by their words. Like, someone will have a monologue here and end talking about, tears or something. And then the next character will start their monologue way across town doing nothing related to this guy. The last words the other person said are the first words of this other one. So the whole time it's like, I can see something weird's going on. Everyone's connected. They're going to get to this scene that you saw a flash of. What's going to happen? What does it all mean? And just like the whole build up to the finale, like my heart was pounding and pumping, and I was like leaning forward out of my chair because I had to know what was happening, and it was so f***ing good. I couldn't believe it. It was awesome. After that was Ichabod, which was kind of after the Headless Horseman, what happens to Ichabod Crane. And it was a really cool, really well done play, and it was really interesting, but I was so drained from These Mortal Hosts. Like, there were points where I was sitting there, and the actors were doing great. The scenes were interesting, but I was just like almost dozing off a little bit. And there's a scene where one character shouts at another one, and she did it so loud I almost jumped out and was like, I wasn't sleeping.
That's where I wasn't sleeping. I was paying attention. 100%.
But it was really good, but there was just so much taken out of me from that previous one that I just couldn't do it. Like, I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And then, hey, speaking of being there, the next play was called Be Here Now, all about like depression and sadness, and like, I won't go into the twists or anything, but like whether or not that's a choice, like whether you can like choose to be happy or choose to be sad, and what that means, and the interconnectedness of people. Really, really good interactions between the characters. Really fun, charming, real people. Like, there were real interactions up there. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Then the last one of the day was called Assembly Line, all about like a dystopian future, think like 1984, and family dynamics. And what I really loved was the world that they created, because it was really unique. I mean, if you picture 1984, you're not too far off, but there were really interesting twists, especially as it related to women in that world, because it's a lady playwright, so it kind of goes hand in hand. So the world was awesome, and then there's a dynamic between the mother and the son characters in that play that was so spot on. Like, I've had those interactions either with my parents or with other people, or I've seen them so much that it just came off as so real. And the actress playing the mom, she loved the play so much, you could tell, like, when other people, she wasn't even in the scene, would have great lines back and forth, she'd just be like, oh, girl, I love that line. Or she'd be cracking up. Just, you could tell she was so in it, and it made you get more into it too. And then she was in that character. Like, when she's sad, you can almost see tears welling up in her eyes. When she's angry, you could feel the blazing anger, and she was great. That whole play was great. I really loved it. And then my favorite thing, after These Mortal Hosts, like between the plays, they had like maybe a 30-minute break. So I Googled real quick. I was like, hey, where can I buy a copy of this? Is it in print anywhere? Can I download it from the guy's website? Nothing came up. Just reviews of where this play had been. So I walked up to the creative director, Tony, of the theater, and I was like, hey, Tony, thanks for doing all this. Really awesome. He was like, hey, thanks for joining us for the whole day, all this cool stuff. And I was like, but I got to ask you, is there someplace online or somewhere else that I can order a copy of one of these plays? And he goes, well, which one do you want? And I went, These Mortal Hosts. And he goes, He turns, he looks at the table where all the actors left their copies, and he went, here you go. And I went, holy shit, that's awesome. Like, I didn't know if he could give it to me, or if like they had to buy it as a theater and then you can't really distribute it, or what the rules were. And I was totally gonna like pay $20 to download it from the guy's website. But he's like, yeah, here you go. And we got to talking about this play and other plays the dude wrote, and my whole history with coming to the theater. I was like, this is freaking awesome. And I walked out with the little play in my hand, just going, this is great. Walking down the street, I can't believe I have it. So it's sitting over there on the table over there. I'm just like, so good. I have it, and these people are so awesome. They did this cool thing. They gave me like the most impactful play I've ever read. Jesus Christ. So great. Props to the Williamston Theater. Props to Tony Caselli. That guy is amazing. Everybody over there is great. If you're in the area, go support them. Give them donations. Give them anything. So what else have I been doing? On the video game front, been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Riding around, being a cowboy, meeting up with crazy people. I got mauled by cougars the other day. Like, not in the fun way. I got murdered by cougars. And then I found a dude who was like an animal trainer. He's like, hey, my show features a lady animal trainer. She braves all these dangerous animals. And he's talking and talking. I'm realizing that dude's in a dress. And like, are you the guy? He's got this big mustache and he's wearing a dress. He's like, well, yeah, I play Margaret, the female animal trainer. I need you to go get my zebra, my lion, and my tiger. So you go out and you're like hunting down the zebra, and I've got my binoculars out and it's late. You know, it's dark and shadowy. And I look and I finally lock on the zebra and it goes zebra, mule. And I went, oh, I must have run. So I run over there and it's a donkey all painted up like a zebra. I'm like, this dude. So I won't go into all the rest of the things that happen in there because there's some spoilers in there, but that was an awesome side quest. I loved it. I love that guy and his whole little farcical menagerie troupe. It was great. The whole
thing, a gimmick, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. What's it going to be in the Old West? You're going to have those things. So that was really good. The ending I didn't like quite as much, but the whole ride was just fantastic. Other thing I did, played Tetris Effect. That's great. I love it, but it's also too much. I went through all the different, went through the journey mode, then I went through all the different themed, like, you know, hey, you're playing through all the water levels, you're playing through all the sky levels, you're playing through this, that. Played through all those, got my top scores, played through a couple more to try and challenge my previous scores. Some of it's just too hard, so I had a lot of fun with it. I had my fun. I'm done with it, so there we go. Tetris Effect is great. And that's it for me this week. That's it for us individually. Together as a team. If you stuck around through all that, thank you very much. Together as a team, we did IG2G episode 42. Fun show. Right now, I can't even think of what we talked about because I'm thinking about theater because I'm the theater king.
It's theater man. Just going to have a separate podcast soon. It's going to be Theater with Matt.
Hey, you know, Fiddler on the Roof is coming to Wharton Center pretty soon. I'm going to be going to see that. I'd be
interested in that one. That one's a good one. Mm-hmm. So, mayhaps. Now that you just said that, actually, I should look that one up, see if maybe Amanda would be interested in that with me. No.
Yeah, man.
But, no, what did we talk about? Holy cow. We had,
Telltale. Yes. That was it. It was kind of a last-minute discussion, yeah.
Some good convo about Telltale again, and then a couple games on my end. Some Pokemon.
I can also do this. I can also do this and just look at the other page.
I know, for me it was some Pokemon. So if you want to hear a little bit about some Pokemon, head on over there. I think I said 151. I was thinking about that afterwards, and I was like, man, I hope I got that number right. But I didn't really want to go to look. But I did. It's 151. Oh, yeah. So good props on me. Shoo. Shoo.
When you said whatever the total was, and I went, total blank. And you said 151, and I was like, I'm 100% sure that's right. That sounds exactly right.
So it was a good time. I enjoyed it. And actually, one of the things I kind of chopped from that episode, I'm going to talk about tonight. So I get to cover everything I was thinking about talking about. I'm in luck. I love my life.
And hey, speaking of love and life, what do our patrons love more than What You Play in Third Shift? We all recorded that earlier this week, so we're going to be getting that on the Patreon. If you want to know more about the Patreon, listen to the episode. We're going to talk about it later. That's going to be coming up later this week. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And then, hey, what could be more fun than shift codes for golden keys in Borderlands 2? So hit up the Twitter, the Reddit, the forums, the Instagram. Hit up your preferred shift code provider. Go get yourself some free loot.
Indeed. You got to have those shift codes. You better be playing that game because big announcements are coming, and everybody loves that Borderlands. Also, if you didn't get in there and kill the turkey for Turkey Day, you're a fool because it's the coolest one.
I'm a fool this year.
Yes, you are. You're a sad fool. That's okay.
I told you never again, so
you had to stick to the word.
I had to stick with it.
Yeah. I hate it when people say things like that, the final word like that, because then I'm like, now you can't take it back. Now you're dedicated to this. Otherwise, I know I can just worm my way in and make you do something again. Oh.
But hey, you know what? Borderlands 3 is right
That's
around
right.
the corner, so they're going to have a fantastic turkey DLC. I won't need Borderlands 2's DLCs anymore.
It'll be dead and gone in the ages. Bye-bye, Borderlands 2. Hello, Borderlands 3. And you must have been reading my mind, Matt, because, speaking of Borderlands 3, woo, there's some tasty little nuggets out there in the world.
Oh, boy. Tell me all about them, Mr. Eric.
I'm gonna. So, earlier today, Jeff What's-His-Face from the Game Awards, once again, don't blame me, I don't know names. I'll never remember names.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley, there you go. See, I got his first name.
I remember his name, and I don't even like that guy. Come on.
I'm just saying, I don't know names. I have way too many things in my brain to remember all that crap. So, Jeff Keighley posted a little thing, and he says, hey, well, we're looking to do announcements, and da-da-da-da-da. And he says, we're looking at you, Walmart Canada, which is the, Walmart that had the leaks. Well, over the course of the last many months that leak came out, all those games have come to fruition except for a couple. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know I know Borderlands 3 obviously was one of them. And then I knew there was like one or two more on there. I think there was like 3, I thought. Anywho's, so I thought nothing of it. I just chuckled and moved on about my day. Later in the day, Randy Pitchford posts a tweet, and he says, I'm going to go ahead and do this by quote. Yeah, Randy Pitchford on Twitter, my to-do list today has just 3 things on it, but I also have 3 meetings scheduled before 3 p.m. Is the universe telling me something? So that happened, and I went, well, that's very interesting. 333, Borderlands 3, 333. He's teasing Borderlands 3. Fantastic. Okay, we all know not to trust anything Randy Pitchford says or does because it's Randy Pitchford. Yes. So I once again went, ha ha ha. I moved on about my day. But then, and I never connected the two, by the way. It just kind of happened. I was too busy in my own life. Subnautica, always out there whispering words and finding all his little things, posted himself another video. I said, oh, Subnautica's got something up. Let me check it out. What's he talking about today? So, on top of him posting and saying how they've been updating all that database crap over and over and a lot lately and going nuts with it in the last few days, which I always, I pay attention to. It's cool. He goes, hey, and then, guys, this earlier today or yesterday or whatever, Jeff posted that. And then today, Randy posted this. Everybody, I'm telling you right now, Game Awards, we're about to see something. And I'm like, man, I really want to believe because, and then, and he went down to clarify because, like I said, I thought there were a few titles that the Walmart leak didn't happen to or, come true with. According to Subnautica, which I didn't go verify, but he says there was only 2, Borderlands 3 and the what was it? It was a racing game, I think. No, Splinter Cell. No, Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell. He said those were the only 2 that have not come true yet. So basically, based off what Jeff said, saying, hey, Walmart Canada, we're going to have you covered here soon, one of those 2 titles is getting talked about. So there's a 50-50 chance on that, but then tied in with Randy starting to put out his tweet, and then there's, the other little pick-me-ups and then the updates. There's a strong push that it could be finally Borderlands 3 tune. Will I believe any of this? No, I tell you, because I cannot trust or believe anything any longer.
I will admit I was thinking about it because Game Awards was blowing up with like, hey, here's a presenter, here's this, all kind of announcements on Twitter that I was scrolling past. And I went, man, what would be really cool is if they announced Borderlands 3 at the Game Awards and show off a trailer. And then I immediately went, no, Matt, no, Stop it. Don't believe or think or hope. You can't do it.
Hope for
also,
nothing.
We're going to be busy while the Game Awards are happening, so they really better not announce anything.
So I don't know. You take what you will from this. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of pieces coming together. It looks promising, but as we always tell you, never trust anything anymore because we've been burned a few times. So just saying, I want to let y'all know, make your own judgments, but it's looking pretty cool right now.
And hey, speaking of things that are looking pretty cool and can make you look pretty cool, GearboxLoot.com has got their new collection in. It's like the badass gift guide or something like best bitchin' gift guide. I don't remember what it is, but it's holiday stuff. You got ugly Christmas sweaters. You got wrapping paper. Hey, put you on the spot. What's your favorite item there, Eric?
Oh, I don't even know because I had no idea they upgraded it. Man, this is for you. But I will say I do appreciate ugly sweaters. So I'm going to say before I even see them, I would say ugly sweater because I've always wanted to own one. And by golly, if I owned a Gearbox one, that'd be the cat's meow.
Didn't they have like an ugly psycho? It was like
last
a
year, but it wasn't by them.
Christmas sweater. Oh, okay.
Some other company did it, and then they went ahead and promoted it because they thought it was really cool. And now they've actually got a few of their own, so even better. And I wanted that one too, Matt. I wanted that one too, but I can't afford that kind of stuff.
Never happened. Yeah. And I will say, I like the ugly Christmas sweater trend because a lot of like really creative people have been starting to make. I mean, not just the Gearbox Loot stuff, but I've been seeing stuff like on pro wrestling tees with like ugly Christmas sweater designs with people's logos and like their sayings and their holiday fonts and stuff. Really cool. I really like that kind of stuff. Like when you get really creative with it, nothing beats that. So, hey, go check out gearboxloot.com. See if any of those ugly Christmas sweaters strike your fancy, or just pick up some wrapping paper to wrap up ugly Christmas sweaters for other people for your gift and givens.
Well, and while you're picking up that gift wrap from the old Gearbox store, you might want to go ahead and wrap up this awesome present called a PlayStation VR bundle, which is coming out December 14th. Now, this was a super, super smart idea. Whoever thought of this, you're a genius. What am I talking about? PSR bundle coming December 14th with the launch of course, Borderlands VR, Borderlands 2 VR to be more specific. And it comes with not only, of course, the VR unit and Borderlands 2, but it comes with Beat Saber. If you don't know, Beat Saber's the cat's meow. It's the VR game everyone's talking about, everyone's in love with right now. It's all the hype, all the pizzazz. This was a genius move because obviously you're going to get a deal buying it in a bundle. So you're getting and it's also the PSVR right now is cheaper. So you're getting a good deal on the PSVR. You're getting a good deal because it's a bundle. You're getting one of the most popular games there is, Beat Saber. And then tying in, you're getting Borderlands 2 VR, which I'm sure is going to be fantastic because Borderlands 2 is fantastic. VR is a lot of fun. Bada bing, bada boom, put 2 and 2 together equals a good time.
And hey, speaking of a good time, I think we had speculated on it or maybe heard like rumors, but nothing really confirmed. They did say, I think today, Gearbox official tweeted it out, or somebody Gearbox related tweeted it out, said, hey, if you were worried about the teleportation movement or however the movement system may or may not work in Borderlands 2 VR, you can do full-on real-ass movement with a controller. You can do teleportation around, if moving around to get you motion sick, or you can do some kind of combination of the two. Maybe crank up this, crank down that. So there it is, official word, because I know... I'm pretty sure we didn't know for sure. So I was like, I don't know how that would work. That seems weird to me. So if it seemed weird to you, don't worry about it. You can get your analog sticks all going and just like puke because you get all motion sick. So there you go. That's cool.
It is cool. It is very cool. I really want to play this. Obviously, we've already said how we're not going to be able to play it because neither of us own a PlayStation VR. But I want to say Merry Christmas to us, Matt, because I contacted Gearbox and they're sending them to us. So
so awesome.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Gearbox. We appreciate it. We can't wait to get our VR headsets and of course, Borderlands 2 VR. It's going to be my first experience in VR, except for back in the day when you used to go to the theme parks and put down the big headsets and the weird track wheels and stuff. Yeah.
So you go to Disney World and they had that thing where you sat inside like a hollowed out pool ball and you put the VR headset on and you were a pool ball.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. This will be even cooler than that, though, because you get to shoot stuff.
Because you're shooting stuff and getting loot. Yeah. So thank you, Gearbox. We look forward to seeing those in the mail soon. It's going to be fantastic.
And what else is fantastic this week, Eric? What you got for us?
Well, real quick, okay? I did the news. I did the digging. I looked at all the little, published titles. I didn't see anything of note for anyone anywhere, really, except for I did want to briefly say that Fortnite, in its newest patch, which is available, of course, right this second, they have added the ability to gift items in-game to other people. I just want to say that's awesome. I've seen it in other games, but it's cool that Fortnite's doing it. I've always liked that because as soon as it happened, actually, with like World of Warcraft, for instance, my brother Jared gifted me some gifts, and it was like, oh, man, it feels better when you log in. You're like, what the hell's in my mailbox? What's this? Oh, you received a gift from your brother Jared, and look, all cool pets and flying mounts and things. Now you can do the same thing in Fortnite for all your friends, family, or people you're trying to just, kiss a little butt to, whatever the case may be. Just thought that was an interesting tidbit added to the Fortnite world. So there you go. Take what you will.
Gift your boss a cool Fortnite pickaxe when you know review time's coming up.
Exactly.
Like, hey, this one's for you, buddy.
You wink, wink. And it's all in the digital world, so it's not like anybody's ever going to find out because all them corporate pigs up top who are like 80 years old don't know what video games are. They'll never know
there you go.
that
That's
you've been
true,
saucing
actually.
your boss. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And you're all doing it under aliases anyway. You can't connect me
can't
to Boss Saucer 6969.
Exactly.
Come on.
Nope. Sucker. It's a win-win. There you go, everybody. Get out there and sauce the boss.
Exactly.
And that's about it, man. That's it in the Gearbox world at this point in time. There's not too much happening. Everybody's waiting for the Game Awards, obviously. So we're moving on to topics. And Matt, you got a small one.
Time.
What are you going to do?
I got a little one because there's something I could go on and on about because I really enjoyed it when I first played it. Just played it again, and it continued to resonate with me, especially in this world that we live in. But I can't talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil it. It's another one of those little 5-minute flash games that I like to do on Matt's Indie Game Showcase on IG2G. And I like to do stuff by Nicky Case. You can find this stuff at ncase.me. This is the guy who did The Evolution of Trust, The Wisdom and or Madness of Crowds, Parable of the Polygons, all those other things. This is another really good one. Like I said, go to ncase.me. It pulls up all his games you can play. This one is called We Become What We Behold. It sounds pretty much just like what you think it is. It's a thing all about media and news cycles and its effect on people. And I thought it was really interesting because what do people do nowadays? They watch the news, they get angry about it, they react to it, and it just keeps going and going and going. This shows you what that can do. It's a quick little game, and if you aren't already woke, this might woke you.
God, I was just talking about that all day, woke. This whole new woke thing that we're all woke. Oh, God.
But I really enjoyed it because I won't go into spoilers or anything, but it makes sense when you do it. You really see the effect that some things can have on certain people. That's all I'm going to say. And you do no, I can't say anything. So go play it. It's 5 minutes out of your day. If you are interested in the news or media cycles or you have strong opinions on it, just play it. It's quick. It's easy. It's kind of. I mean, it's an effective media or an effective game. Whether you take away anything from it or not, who cares? Just go play it. It's 5 minutes. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I can't say anything else. I can't say anything else. But
just play the game.
It hits home in all the right ways. So just play it. Just do it. There you go. We Become What We Behold by Nicky Case. Look it up. You can find it on itch.io. I'm sure there are places to download it. You can play it for free on his website. Just do it. Boom. There you go.
Like he told him to. There you go. Fantastic. Now, mine tonight, we're not going to solve any problems here, but because it's just a jumbled mess, but I really wanted to talk about it for a few minutes, and that's Battlefield 5. All right?
You're really selling this game already. It's just some jumbled, weird mess.
No, the game is indeed actually a jumbled mess. Half of its content isn't available. The Battle Royale, which it was supposed to launch with, didn't launch. It's not even coming until March, so it's hugely missing the bus in the Battle Royale competition right now, yeah.
I didn't even know it had a Battle Royale.
Yeah, Firestorm is going to be its Battle Royale version. And it was supposed to launch, obviously, with the game along with the rest of the missions that are not with the game. So they blatantly, obviously, released the game before it was ready. I mean, that's the way it happened. That's the way it is. Of course, a long time ago, it had all the kerfuffle because it had, well, first off, it's World War II. People were kind of not wanting a World War II theme. Secondly, it has.
They just wanted a World War II
well,
theme.
But then it doesn't matter. You know what people? You know how people are.
Yeah.
I
just had to jump in because it makes me so mad.
I'm going to add a little bit of that in with how people are and act, but then it had the female in it, so people got all up in arms. We hate women. Yeah. We don't want women in video games because women are evil unless they want to show us boobs, etc., etc. But then when they show us boobs in real life, we hate it because they're just using their bodies to get money, and that's evil. But make sure their boobs are in the video game because I like that. That's a whole other topic I want to discuss on a different day.
That's a good topic,
yes,
too.
I really want to talk about that because it's a huge deal and it pisses me off. Anyway, back to this. They got all up in arms about the females, and then people were proving that there were females in World War II, that it wasn't all just myth. And then some people were saying, who gives a shit anyway? This is a fictional game about loosely based around World War II. We can do whatever we want. None of this is realistic anyway. And of course, having been in situations that are hostile, I can tell you, yes, none of it is realistic. Okay, it's all fun and games. It's all silly, good times. I murdered 25 people. Nobody cares. It's all fun. I have no bad feelings about this. Okay.
You don't just get shot and then they get behind a wall for 5 seconds. You're like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even die and call for help and then just respawn on your buddy and keep going. That's not the way Real World works, everybody. Just want to let you know that my friends didn't come back. They're still dead. Just in case you're wondering.
You weren't in spawn range, man. If you were on point, they could have been like, I'm back, dude.
Could have got back on my truck. Oh, dang it. God, it's my fault. Anyways.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Don't hit me in the retina. I don't have glasses to take off.
Exactly. So anyways, all that happened. One of the big dogs over there at EA came out and said, "You don't like it, don't play it." You know what I mean? He kind of got pissed off and he said that. And obviously, as an individual who's high standing in your company, the public presence, you shouldn't say things like that. I understand that. It's not a good idea. No matter what the customer says, you just want to go, "Hey, we hear you." And then come out with some cool PR statement that kind of addresses the whole thing in a very professional manner. He did not. He got out there, rage typed on Twitter or wherever he talked about it, put it out there. Everyone got pissed off. And then, no one's buying this game. Blah, 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 blah. So you had that whole camp. Here we are. The game came out like November 20th. Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it. And you know why? Well, first off, it's half-baked. Didn't have all the features it's supposed to have. It didn't have it. Doesn't have the Battle Royale version, which is the pinnacle of stupidity, when right now that's all the hotness. Everyone's combating for the top spot there. Got Call of Duty's new one, Fortnite, obviously. PUBG's been falling behind, but still a big player. Just no good. Plus the comments from earlier pissing off the customer base, and they're going, screw you. If you go look at user reviews, they're all bad, 3.5, But the critical score for what is there is pretty positive. And this is where I get angry. Because without all this, we used to joke all the time about Call of Duty, Battlefield, and which one's better. Without all the kerfuffle, I enjoy Battlefield more. I feel like it feels realer, in quotation marks. It feels realer. I have more fun with it. I feel like the sounds and just the way you move has a better feel to it than Call of Duty. Call of Duty to me always felt like that, just like quick twitchy reflex. You're like floating around the map, flying around, and I've never been a fan of that. And that's not
like almost Unreal Tournament kind of.
Exactly.
Unrealistic, just zooming. And that's fine. Everyone loves it. Obviously, it's the preferred game. Call of Duty's always beaten Battlefield since day one. I'm not contesting that. However, Battlefield is a fantastic series. And right now, because of the whole kerfuffle with EA, and because, of course, of their own faults with, not including these modes and the rest of the story mission, they're being axed to death. They're being chopped apart to pieces. And they're like, maybe EA's going to get their head straight. No. You know what EA's going to do? They're going to discontinue Battlefield. So all you're doing is killing off a fantastic series because you're upset. And I understand you don't have the money to go buy a game that's half baked. Yeah, but it's already half price. You can already go pick it up for half price. Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
They're desperate right now. It's not good. And I'm frustrated about it because I love this series. I don't want it to go away, but because of their own faults and because of just the stupid player base, in my opinion, obviously, and this happens everywhere with fan bases all over the place, where they chop their own things they love into bits, and then they cry years down the road when it's gone. And they're doing it right now to this series, and I'm like, why, you guys? Don't stop it. I understand there's problems. I understand there's issues, but don't go about it in such a fashion that you just kill it till it's dead and gone and nothing's left. That's a terrible idea. There are people behind here who have worked very hard on what is there, and I will tell you, having played some of the missions and gone into a couple multiplayer matches thus far, I enjoy it. It's fun. I enjoy myself just as I have for Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, etc., etc. I didn't do Battlefield 1, so, I guess I am partially to blame because I skipped that one. I didn't, give them my money. I just didn't really feel it. But this time around, I was like, let's pick it up. I have fun. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite game of all because Battlefield 3 will never be beat, in my opinion. But I'm just saying, I don't like the way fans and customers are these days when it comes to handling a mishap or a misstep. How everybody's just like, all right, let's just kill them and chop it to bits and be done with it. Yeah, that'll teach them. Okay, well now your game's gone. What'd that solve?
Yeah, and I'd agree for the most part if it was just the Twitter outrage and then the game came out and it was fully featured and everything was great, and then people still tried to hack it up. But I think part of this you have to give to EA, because I mean, you've said it, but part of it is their fault. Like, you already have this rocky relationship with your customers in very big quote fingers because of the scandals and the whatevers. But then when you also release a half-formed game or a game with half the content, what can they do but hack at it? Like, because if you had one or the other, it's bad, but you have both now. So there's, I shouldn't say what else can they do, but what else can they do? You know what I mean?
In the terms of I should have gotten his name. Once again, everybody knows by now. I don't do names. Sorry, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Pete Zilowich. Jesus
yeah, whatever.
Christ. I don't know.
When he did that, he did it out of frustration, I'm sure. Guess what?
Yeah.
Who gets frustrated? Does anybody ever get frustrated and say something that maybe they shouldn't? No? Nobody ever does that, huh?
I don't do that.
Not a single person ever does that. No, huh? I love how everyone's so quick to be like, you don't say that to me. I don't care if you're mad or not. I'm like, okay, I bet I could probably find a time in your life, maybe within the last 2 weeks, you've probably said something stupid and you shouldn't have because you were mad or grumpy or tired or hungry or whatever the hell the case was. So get off your high horse. Understand that people, just because they make a lot of money and are in a high position, still screw up, still make a mistake. Granted, you can bust their chops about it, sure. But for the love of God, you got to let things go once in a while. But secondly, and I will say it was a mistake, and I already have, that not having the Battle Royale, the Firestorm in there. It was a terrible mistake not having that ready to go because that's the whole big deal right now. Yeah. However, Battlefield's never had a Battle Royale in it, period, ever before anyway. That's not what Battlefield was. It has all of its multiplayer functions. It has everything it used to have.
That's all anyone cares about.
I know.
That's all anybody cares about.
But it has all of what Battlefield was.
As soon as Call of Duty announced they would have one, people were on Twitter going, PUBG's dead, Fortnite's over, XYZ Battle Royale game is canceled, Call of Duty has it now, but you haven't seen anything at all about it, literally anything. It's over. That's it. It's over.
Yeah. Which is funny.
People are stupid.
That's a whole nother argument. Yeah, because they are stupid, because Fortnite's still the biggest. Sorry, guys. But anywho's,
anyway, sorry.
Just what Battlefield was is still there. It is missing its last section of missions or whatever, which that part's straight up not cool. That is a true fault. Yeah. That is a true fault. Yeah. But the Battle Royale, even though it's a fault of them being dumb because they should have had it because that's what's hot, that's never been in the game. That was never part of Battlefield. They only added it to try to compete with what's hot right now. So I don't even fault them that part. So, and they're just being hacked up by everybody. The sales are atrocious. Obviously, EA is going to look at this, and with the Battlefield 1 sales were okay, but not great. Battlefield Hardline was a complete and utter failure, which is going to be forgotten in the annals of time. Battlefield 4 was only pretty good. Battlefield 3 was their last bigger success, really. I just feel like it's going to die. And I'm like, long live Call of Duty, I guess. But I've never been a fan of having only one series be the king and be the only one there. You always want competition. You always want some back and forth. And I feel like the fan base is just losing it here, just letting them go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, while you were saying, long live only one series, I was like, well, didn't EA do Medal of Honor too? They did them. So maybe they need to just, maybe not kill off the series, but do a Ubisoft. Take a year break. All right, let's work on for 2 years or however, add another year to the cycle. Because it's, every 2 or 3 years one comes out. Add another year to the cycle. Bring in new elements, new this, new that. Freshen up the whole space of it. I can't see EA shutting down Battlefield because that's one of the big marquee titles for them. But I think it wouldn't be so bad if they went, all right, we're taking some time off. We're going to rebuild. We're going to refocus. We're going to, get some new creative ideas. What do you want to do, Steve? Oh, let's do one in space or whatever. Bring a fresh take to it.
Which I think that's important. They need a fresh take.
I think it's important too, yeah.
I think they need a fresh take, and I think you're right. They need to pull the Assassin's Creed and just go ahead, once this one's done and run its course, let Battlefield rest for a couple years and really reimagine it, re-go over everything. Keep what Battlefield is, but I think definitely they need to come out with something new, something we haven't seen, and in an environment we haven't seen. No more rehashing any wars we've already fought. Come up with something fresh and cool and new, like an alternate, like Homefront. How they had the idea with the Koreans, I think it was, taking over. That's awesome. It's something that at the time you were like, yeah, that's a possibility, ha ha ha, and it was a fun little alternate reality, but everybody could relate. Something like that I think would be great. Maybe bring people back and get them off. Just make sure you forget about all this crap here.
Or you can even just have the classic Battlefield in the multiplayer and then rework the campaign to like some kind of big cinematic thing. Like, I mean, anytime I watch you play Battlefield, it's kind of like, hey, we're going to go do that thing. We did the thing. Yeah. And you follow like a story, but it's not like nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Make a big, emotional, dramatic story that people actually care about with, like a new campaign, like you said, with invasion or, this is after the Great Fall and you're trying to rebuild the nations or something interesting. And then you can use that framing for the classic Battlefield. Because if you just want to spawn in on your buddies, boom, you can still do that. But we reworked it, and now this is an exciting part of it. Because, I don't know. Something's got to be done, I think. I think for any of the big mainline franchises, taking a year off or taking an extra year, it can do nothing but help you.
I agree with that for sure. Some of these big ones are just they're too quick. Every year, popping out another one every other year. Take your time, relax, let's refocus, come up with some new ideas, and that goes for all of them. But I just want to say, anybody who's listening, for goodness sakes, stop axing apart the things you love because you're angry about one thing or another. Go in there with constructive criticism and see where that gets you. It'll probably get you nowhere. But you know what else axing at things does? It'll kill the thing, but it'll also get you nowhere. And then it loses the thing that you actually used to love, hence why you were so angry and you started axing it to bits. You always look at those Yahoo stories where the wife or husband goes insane and like stabs their wife or husband like 17, 20 times. That's what you're doing right now. You're that guy or gal, you're all like, oh, how could they? I don't even understand. That's so insane. That's what all of you are doing. You're stabbing the thing you used to love to death, just crazy with just rage on your face. And later you're going to be like, oh, it's gone. What? Oh, how'd that even happen? They must have messed up. Did you remember when you stabbed him 17 times in the chest there? Do you remember that? Oh, man, I was blacked out. So relax, people. Frickin' relax. It's okay to be mad, but don't go crazy. Just saying.
So, hey, speaking of things we should axe to death, we should axe up this show because we're pretty much done. It's time for the closing. So what do you guys think about Battlefield 5? What do you guys think about We Become What We Behold? Did you become what you beheld right here, right now? Did you decide because you beheld Eric saying, don't axe things to death, did you decide not to do it? Ooh, I tied it all in right there. Look at me go. You can let us know via email, info@thirdshift.me. You can tweet at us at ThirdShiftME, and you can find us on Facebook under Third Shift.
Indeed you can. If you like the whole tie-in that Matrodamus just put together right there, you could head on over to Patreon and consider throwing us $1, $5, $1,000. You'll help harness his skills, and he will become greater than he is now and be able to predict futures that we could never possibly imagine.
I like this.
But, you know what? Sometimes you don't have money. We understand. If you can't get over there, can't give us $1, hey, please just consider maybe giving us likes, Facebook likes, I don't know, Twitter likes, I don't know, likes and Facebook stuff and Twitter stuff.
Give us face, give us like,
give us
face,
the things,
face like.
Things that make us happy, like conversation, mailbag questions, criticisms. I don't know if I like those very much, but I'll take them.
I don't even know what the mailbag is anymore.
What is a mailbag? What's a mailbag? It's a thing like a postman carries? Oh, that makes sense. All right, Timmy.
Like the Kevin Costner movie?
Yes.
What?
Oh, man, if I rode a horse around shooting people, delivering mail, yes, that'd be the best life. I'd be woke, Matt. I'd be woke if I could live that life.
There we go.
If I could finally start killing people like I always wanted to. Oh, man. Gosh. Anywho, it's back on the Patreon. We understand. Please consider at least coming over and participating in some other way, mailbag questions, etc., etc. It helps us stay motivated to keep you guys in the know and all the Gearbox news and other fantastic, wonderful things that we can think of out there in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, this podcast drops every Friday, so we'll be back in your ear holes on the 7th of December for our very next episode. A very special episode. Don't you want to know? It'll be really cool. Hey, and maybe I'll give a shout out to our Patreon people to ask some special questions of, things about which we'll be talking about. That's called a really bad hook. It's a really bad tease.
But it was a hook. At least it was a hook. It had like one piece of corn on it there, so you might get something.
I've caught worse than Red Dead Redemption 2,
Dang,
just
skip
a hook.
Straight.
So, of course, you can find that mysterious, badly hooked episode on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
We appreciate the 5-star ratings. You gotta give us 5 stars, because we have to turn Randy Pitchford into a 5-star for us. He never got back with the Nerdvana, and he's never come back. No.
Remember, he did. He did. He came on his Submodel channel and went, "Hey guys,
I know,
me,
man.
Submodel."
I know you said that, but you know what? I don't know.
I should have got the tinfoil out. Okay, that's going to be the new
There you
gimmick.
go.
Instead of this knife and fork here, which I haven't been able to use because now they're back. I can't eat them. I have to get some tinfoil and I'll just crinkle it in the mic. It's like, oh, building my head. I gotta keep Randy Pitchford Submodel out of my head.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. So, anywho's, give us the 5 stars. For goodness sakes, we haven't had one in a little bit. I'm real hungry. I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm going to have to go consume my own 5-star. And you guys don't want me to do that because it could be you, listener. Could be you.
But hey, with that, what else is there to say but
Don't
forget to save.
Shut up and sit down.
Don't eat the listeners, please.
I will eat the listeners. I will eat everyone, Matt, eventually.